Hi, Vanessa King here, Head of Psychology and Workplaces for Action for Happiness, here to launch Meaningful May based on the key of meaning in our 10 keys to happier living. Having a sense of meaning in our lives is an important foundation and source of happiness. Meaning is typically about feeling connected to and part of something bigger than ourselves. And it's something that sort of evolves over the course of our lives. It changes. And of course, it can ebb and flow. And meanings, it's something that comes perhaps through reflection and exploration rather than something we can just take off the shelf, so to speak. Now, researchers say that there are actually three elements to meaning. One is what's called coherence. It's how we make sense of our life and ourselves and who we are. So becoming aware of our strengths and our values and what consistently brings us joy or fulfillment. It's also about having a sense of significance. This is a sense that life and we matter in some way, whether that's big or small. And having a sense of purpose. And a sense of purpose is a commitment to pursue something a very long term, maybe it's goals or something that's deeply important to us. And it helps us prioritize and make choices about what we do and our actions in life. So, three tips this month to help us cultivate perhaps a greater sense of meaning in our life. The first is a reflection activity, and it's one you might want to kind of do over the course of the month. And it's about mapping all the different ways that you are connected into the world around you. And you might want to create a list, or you maybe want to visually map it. And it could be big or small things. It could be the people around you that you connect with, or people you take care of or take care of you, people in your community you interact with or at work. It could be in your local shops, etc. It could be the services you receive or deliver. Think about rubbish collection, education, deliveries, the shops you go into. It could be also about things that you buy or don't buy. It's almost like you're mapping the ecosystem of all the different ways that you connect to what's around you and vice versa. And you might want to pick one source of connection in that way to that world around you that you can make a difference to this month. And kind of exploring that a little bit more is maybe one of the ways that we can all make a difference is doing something for the environment. We can all take action on that, and obviously it's becoming increasingly important. And it's certainly taking care of the environment has been associated with greater happiness, and vice versa. Interestingly, if we're happy, we tend to take care of the environment more. But it's a way we can all make a difference. So think about something extra you can do for the natural world this month. It could be from picking up litter in your street or in the park. It could be walking instead of walking or taking public transport instead of driving. It could be planting some seeds or cultivating a little corner in your garden or in a window box for wildlife. And reflect on how those actions, what you're doing there is kind of making a difference to that kind of natural world around you, because these things do. And thirdly, pick some way that you can make a small, meaningful difference to another person or others this month. Feeling connected to others is one of the most important sources of meaning for many, many people. Be that family, be that friends, be that community, or even pets. Those are important sources of meaning and purpose in life. So who's someone close to you or that's important to you that maybe you could spend give a little bit more attention to or time to in terms of making a meaningful difference for them and this month. And even small acts can have a ripple effect out beyond us, beyond the person that we're helping or giving to directly onto those beyond them. So that's 3 tips to try. But finally, I want to say something about meaning in difficult times. Now, when we are having real struggles in life, tough times, it can be hard to have a sense of meaning. But Viktor Frankl, who was a psychiatrist and psychotherapist, who really his life's work was around meaning, and he indeed wrote the book "Man's Search for Meaning," man in inverted commas. Um, and he says that times of suffering can be sources of meaning in our lives, even though they might not feel like it at the time. So it could be that there's some learning to be had from that tough time. It could be that it serves as a catalyst for some meaningful, positive change in our lives, or prioritization, helps us focus on what really matters. Or it could be that even during those times of suffering, as indeed was the case for Viktor Frankl, who was in a Nazi concentration camp, is how can we be the best person we can be to role model um, um, during the times of suffering, and caring about others during times of our own suffering. So I think it's important to reflect on that, because some people, many of us, will be having tough times right now. But let's recap on those 3 tips this month. So first is creating a map, our own personal meaning ecosystem, if you like, of all the different ways that we're connected to the world around us. Um, Choosing something that we can do, the second tip, in terms of doing something to contribute to the natural environment around us, and choosing something that can make a small, meaningful difference to other people this month, another person or other people. So, as ever, do let us know your thoughts and ideas and what you're trying out and what you've noticed as a result. You can share that join our community on our app. It's a really constructive, supportive, positive community, or any of our social media platforms. We really do love to hear how you're exploring and experimenting with these tips. So that's it from me this month. Look forward to seeing you here next month. So hope you have meaning in your May. Thanks very much.